Hello, Lou Hamilton from Audible Elegance in Cincinnati, Ohio. We are located a few doors north of the Montgomery Inn on Montgomery Road and across from Montgomery Circulary. We do postings on Facebook, Instagram, and X, and there's different things on there. Tonight, I thought I would take the time to have fun. And it's to point out where people sell things using an old name. Crosley is actually a very old name from Cincinnati. And peddle things as turntables. And while they spin a record and they have a needle, trust me, performance is not what they provide. And amazingly, they go ahead and they have outputs to connect to a regular stereo system. I guess it has a built-in phone and preamp. God knows what that's like. But I thought I'd just show you why these things are $69. And it started out by, this is the mat, and you can see it really doesn't do a whole lot. It's a piece of rubber. And the first thing I saw was a C-clip, which is kind of like, oh, I'm used to these things on my lawnmower and wheelbarrows. I wonder what this is all about. And amazingly, it is belt dry. I thought that was amazing. But you take the platter off, which is, I think Tupperware lids are thicker. What you don't have is a bearing at all. What you have is greased plastic. God knows what the grease will do to the plastic over time, because you have to be very careful about what lubrication you use. But this thing spins on essentially like a wheel and a hub on a wheelbarrow. Okay, now so that's that, and there's obviously no suspension, and it makes all sorts of rattling sound. You ought to hear the motor when we turn this thing on. It's just it's a hoot. So all of that chatter goes right into your record or whatever you think you're playing. So, it has power and it has volume, so it has speakers in it. It's a fine children's turntable, but if you're going to try to buy anything of Disney records, you're going to pay far more for the Disney record than you paid for like $60 or $70 for this turntable. It's really pathetic. And so you can see that the arm just wobbles all over the place, back and forth, and it does twist too. So there's really nothing controlling the mechanics of the tone arm at all. I think the finest part of it is it actually does have a lift that is somewhat hydraulic, I suppose. But that will probably last about 3 weeks anyway, or about 10 uses. So, we've got a 3-speed turntable. It even does 78s. I can't imagine a 78 on this, but, it comes with a 45 adapter, all this sort of stuff that you thought you were supposed to have. But it's really, really, it's a children's turntable, and it's fine for children. I mean, let's let it go at that. But if you're looking at turntables that are, that are $50 to $150, and they've got phone or preamps built into them and everything else, the best thing you could do is donate those to Goodwill or veterans places where they resell goods, because you're really shorting yourself badly. I mean, if you buy a reissue album, and I see them in the stores now, essentially for the price of 3 albums, you've bought the turntable. And trust me, this turntable is destroying the albums that you bought. So it's kind of like one piece of garbage turning everything else you buy into garbage. And that's it. And, again, it's a children's turntable, and they're not too fussy about the quality of their albums. I mean, you can get those at flea markets and Goodwill, you know, you might be able to find a copy of The Haunted Mansion or, you know, Julie Andrews singing or something. That's fine. Let it go. But please, these are not real turntables, okay? They're really, really not. Personally, I would find more fascination in buying an Edison cylinder and listening to it than I would to one of these. So if you see your friends using one of these and think they have a turntable, help them out, guide them, please. I can't be everywhere, and nor can you, but at least we can try to make a little more sense out of things. And if you're lucky, every one of your records, and here's Al Jarreau, will sound like Alvin and the Chipmunks. Here we are.